Hello and welcome to Homes for Lambeth's YouTube channel. My name is Claire and I am here to lead you on your gentle, slow flow yoga practice. All you will need today is a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can create one just with a stack of paperback books or even a couple of cushions, anything that feels like it raises the floor to you. So let's get started. Come to find any comfortable seated position. And personally, I like to sit on a block for that. So when you come, take a nice shoulder roll and take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let it go. Whatever's come before, we release it and we stay nice and present into the moment, into our practice. Again, deep breath in, deep breath out, and then close down the eyes. And start to just settle in. Start to notice your body, your breath, and let everything that's going on around you just feel like it's melting away just for this time that we're practicing together. And just soften through the body. Just give your body time to just drop a little bit. Yeah, drop heavy into your hips, heavy into the legs. And yet spine is beautifully tall and lengthened. Nice, full, even, steady breaths in and out through the nose. And notice how once you are seated and still and breathing, how you just get this sense of relaxation wash over you. It's resting in the knowledge that you have nothing to do other than this. Breath fills through your nose into your lungs, and try to get a sense of expanding your body and your chest, not just up and down here, but filling out to the sides, almost breathing so much out to the side that you feel that movement of rib cage towards your outer, your inner arm. Chest lifts, chest fills up into the back body. And so get a sense of breathing into your lungs, front, back, and sides here. And notice that the longer you stay, just being still and breathing, hopefully the calmer that you feel, and hopefully a sense of just collecting your energy back a little bit. Let's take a few more breaths here before we start to move. And then together, take a deep breath in. Let it go out of the mouth, clear it, and softly open your eyes, and let's start to stretch. So if you were on a block, come off and come to find a cross-legged shape with your right leg in front of left, and take a deep breath here, and you can use your hands to support you if you need to gently hinge forwards at your hips. And as soon as you do that, you should feel that stretch into the outer leg. And then perhaps you walk the hands forwards. And so a nice strong stretch into your outer glutes, your outer hip muscles. And even though we are beginning to move and beginning to stretch, try to let the focus still be very much about the movement of the breath. Don't lose that noting of your inhales and exhales. And let each breath help you to settle and drop into the pose, maybe a little deeper. And so this should feel great into the outer legs, outer hips, outer glute muscles, bottom muscles, and hopefully you also get a nice stretch into the spine as well, just by the very nature of folding forwards. Let's take a few more breaths on this side. And then let's walk up and switch, change the cross of your leg. So left leg forwards, we take a deep breath in. Again, use the hands if you need to help you lift through the chest. And exhale, second side. The neck is nice and easy. So just softening in any part of your body that you feel the need to soften. So if you feel a tense energy around your neck and shoulders, just let that go. So you're trying to identify these pockets of tightness and tension in your body. Let's take a few more breaths. And then lift up. Let's move into the spine. So interlace your hands and push your palms right up to the sky and feel how that reaching up lengthens your side waist. If in this position, because of the tightness of your hips, and I feel it too, is I feel a little bit like I want to sink back. So this would be where potentially you come to sit on a block or a blanket or a cushion just to elevate your hips, and that just makes it a little easier for the hips. And so now it feels so much easier to sit up tall. So that's just a bit of a tip. So reach up, lengthen, feel the stretch all the way down the arms, through the armpits, down the side body. And then let's change that position. Now bring interlaced hands forwards, knuckles point forwards, and tuck and round into your spine. So chin drops to chest here, and you feel the shoulders separate in the mid-back. And let's combine those movements. So palms up to the sky, lengthen through the waist. It's an inhale. Exhale, knuckles forwards, chin to chest, round the spine. Again, inhale, push palms to the sky, lift up. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, knuckles forwards. Let's take one more. Inhaling, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, tuck and round. And then again, you can stay on that block if you need to. Otherwise, let's now take fingertips behind you. They point to the seat, and then lift up through the chest, through the heart, and feel this lovely uplift sense through your chest. Shoulders, front of the arms, get a lovely stretch. And then let's come up and let's transition onto all fours to move through our spine, finding a little bit of mobility through our back here. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Here we go. Deep breath in, lift your tail, lift your gaze in your chest, and exhale, tuck and round. And in this movement, try to keep the arms relatively still, relatively straight, so that the only thing moving is your spine and your hips. Yeah. Again, inhale, we open. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, tuck and round. Separate the shoulders in the mid-back. Inhale, open. Exhale, really pull that belly button to spine. Feel your core engage here. Again, deep breath in to open. Deep breath out. And then let's come to find a nice neutral spine and pelvis. So we're neither extending and we're neither flexing. Yep, completely neutral. From here, scoop and lift your belly, lift up through your front ribs away from the floor. And let's extend the right leg behind you. So take a deep breath in and take an exhale, right leg back. And if you need to move that left knee a little bit more into the center line, you could. And note that leg is only to hip height. I'm not lifting it higher than my hips. So nice square hips. Again, think lift and engage through your belly. So it's really nice to engage your core here. This is a little bit of core work. So again, let's tuck in and extend. So I'm just using the right leg for now. If this aggravates your wrists, please bring your hands into a fist position, and that just neutralizes the wrists. So let's inhale, extend. Try to keep your pelvis as still as you can. So imagine you have a tray of drinks right onto your lower back and sacrum. We do not want to spill those drinks. So it's incredibly controlled here. Let's take one more. Make this your final one. And release. And then if you need to take a moment just to circle the wrists, often we do. Yeah, it feels nice to do that. And then let's have a go second side. Wrist underneath shoulders, pelvis is neutral and belly pulls in. Here we go. Left leg out this time. Inhale, get long. Chest stays forward, gaze is forwards. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, tuck and round. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's go 4 more if you can. Inhaling, keep that tray of drinks still. Exhale, go as slow as you need to. Breath in. Breath out. 2 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Here's your final one. Take that inhale, reset your knees, and then let's take all of that out of the body and move into our first downward dog. As always, in my classes anyway, I bring the feet together. I find it easier to pedal my feet out in this way. And so pedal, pedal, drive each foot towards the floor, each heel towards the floor. And try to broaden through the shoulders, try to lengthen the neck out of the shoulder girdle. My fingers are spread and there's a slight feeling of pressing my finger pads into the earth. And a little bit of a feeling of sucking up through my palm. Yeah, so it's like I'm literally like Spider-Man hands in that kind of way of gripping the floor. Yeah. And then let's walk the feet hip distance apart. Put a bend into the knees and then melt your chest back to the thighs even more. Nice and long through the spine here. Let's pull in through the belly. Take an inhale, ripple the shoulders over the wrists, plank. And soft knees back to downward face. Again, inhale, we ripple to plank. And exhale, soft to downward dog. Here's your final one. Inhale to ripple. Exhale to ease back. And let's walk the hands all the way to the feet. Soft knees is going to help you get there. And then let it go. Cup the elbows and flop over the legs. Dropping the weight of the head. Softening the knees here. And feeling that lovely stretch. It's such a sense of letting go in this forward fold. Let the breath come, big sigh out through the mouth. And then just release those arms if they're still cupped. And let's slowly roll all the way up. Rolling shoulders onto the back when you get there. Come to move to the top of the mat. And just make sure your block is somewhere to the front of the mat. You're going to need that real soon. So let's bring our feet hip distance apart. Stand nice and tall, spread out through your toes, and just get a sense of being quite evenly weighted over your feet. Let's take 3 rounds of half Surya A to warm up through our body. Let's take an inhale, circle the arms up to the sky, lift the chest, legs are firm. Exhale, dive over the legs, either reach the floor, maybe you just reach the shins, either is fine. Hands to the shins underneath the knees, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release and fold. Bend the knees, circle the arms, press the feet into the earth, lift up, hands to the heart. Let's move through that twice more. Deep breath in, lift up, lengthen. Deep breath out, dive over your legs, let it go. Hands to the shins, draw the shoulders onto the back, halfway lift. Exhale, melt back over the legs. Bend the knees, inhale, fly and rise up. Hands connect to the heart. One final time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, melt forwards. Hands to shins. Inhale, shoulders onto back. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Inhale, fly up with the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's move on. Classical sun salute. Deep breath in, circle and lift. Deep breath out, melt back over the legs. Here's the change. Step your right foot to the back of the mat and take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. So you could, if you had 2 blocks or 2 sets of books, you could have hands to those blocks. Makes it a little easier here. Deep breath in and out. Try not to drop the head. Keep the energy and the gaze lengthening forwards. Get really strong in that back foot. That back thigh is lifted. Deep breath in. Let's let it go. Downward facing dog. Deep breath out. Ripple through like a wave into plank. Inhale. Gently lower your knees, your chest, your chin to the earth. Graze your ribs with your arms. So rather than elbows out, elbows clip in. Push the feet back and lengthen the heart forwards. Inhale, cobra. On this first one, let's do a few. Hands can go wider if you feel tight. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, release. Final one. Inhaling. And exhale, hands underneath the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Transition back, downward facing dog. Let it go. Take another inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, soften the chest back to the thighs. Let's step the right foot forwards in between the hands. If it doesn't quite get there, remember you can pop onto the knees and step it there instead. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, powering up that back leg. Inhaling. And exhaling, we're opening up through the front of the hip flexor and into the inner thigh. Take a deep breath in. Step forwards, feet hip distance apart. Exhale when you get there, forward fold. Bend the knees, inhale, press to rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's move through that second side. Deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, melt forwards. Step the left leg to the back of the mat, fingertips or onto blocks. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Get really anchored and weighted into your hips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So it's super strong work on the legs. Let's take one more inhale. Step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Belly pulls in. Inhale, ripple into plank. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest, the chin. Just one cobra this time. Push the feet back. Lengthen the heart forwards. Inhale. It can be low or it can be high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Soften the knees, melt the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg steps forwards. Take your time to get it there. It's right in between the hands and your knee is nicely stacked over your ankle. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, inhaling. And exhale. Let's take one more strong inhales, a little bit of momentum to help you step forwards. And release, let it go. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep to rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a steadying breath. Let's start to flow to come to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, circle the arms, lift the chest. Deep breath out, dive over the legs, crown of the head searches for the floor. We bring the hands to the shins this time. Take a nice inhale and step straight back to downward facing dog. When you get there, again, that little reminder of your alignment, hands shoulder distance apart, pressing down into the finger pads, particularly the thumb and the first finger. Knees are soft, spine is long. Together, let's bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky, just a little. Exhale, can you step it to the outer right hand? So it's actually quite wide. Turn your toes out to 2 o'clock on the clock and pause and breathe into lizard. So my front toes are out at an angle here. Feel the stretch into the left hip and into the inner right. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, hands to a block could make this even easier. Yeah, to give you a sense of lift of body away from the floor. And this is still a really strong stretch into the legs, even if you are on a block. So breathe. Take a few more breaths. And then let's heel toe your right foot right back into the center line. Yep, toes are now back to pointing to 12 o'clock. Take your left leg and kick it out a little bit behind you and to the right. Bring right fingertips to the inner foot and extend your left leg up and over that top ear. And so this is a pretty big side stretch into a side body stretch, but also into that inner right thigh. Yeah, right in here, right to the side of that leg, inner side of that leg. Take another inhale and exhale. To release and bring your back leg once again into its center alignment. Let's lift up through the arms. Take the hands behind you, either cup the elbows. If you have more openness in the shoulders, interlace the hands, take a deep breath in and bow towards the inner right thigh. It's your humble warrior variation. And release. Circle the arms up to the sky for a moment just to release the shoulders. Hands come to the floor, pick up that back knee, transition, downward facing dog. Should feel like a nice relief through the legs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's have a feel of that second side. Feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the outer left hand. Bring the knee to the floor. Turn your left toes out to 10 o'clock and come into lizard second side. Keep melting the shoulders back. Keep lengthening the heart and the gaze forwards. Full breaths. So that gentle reminder to keep pulling your attention back to the breath. how you breathe, the quality of the breath, sensations of the breath, so that in amongst the poses, there's a sense of clarity and focus. Let's heel toe the left foot back into the center line. Kickstand your back foot a little bit out to the left to bring left fingertips either to the floor or to a block or even to the thigh to reach up and over into your side body stretch and your inner thigh stretch. And you can use your front arm just to keep your knee tracking nicely forwards here. It's gently driving into my left knee. To release and just bring that back foot back into its alignment. Here we go. Lift up through the arms. Take your interlace or cup your elbows. Take a deep breath in, heart lifts. Exhale, keep the shoulders easing back as you melt towards the inner left knee. If it feels too much, feel free to release the hands to the floor. That's okay. Let's take a deep breath in, release the arms, pick up the back knee. Exhale, let's transition all of that into downward facing dog. Let's move through a vinyasa. Inhale into plank. Gently lower your knees, your chest to the floor, and keep your gaze forwards just so you don't drop the energy down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. A deep breath out. Bring your feet together, sweep the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale. Step that right foot through in between the hands, spin the back foot flat, front heel to back arch alignment. You're into warrior two. So this is particularly where you will need that block somewhere to the front of the mat. Deep breath in and out. To straighten the front leg and tip into Trikonasana triangle pose. Right hand just below the knee. And try not to stick bottom back here. You're tucking that pubic bone underneath you. You're leaning ever so slightly back with your upper body and get really long. Beginners, you might want to stay happily here. If you'd like a challenge and would like to have a play with half moon, this balance, you can bring the left hand to the waist. You can just reach for your block, put it on the highest setting and slowly bring your back foot a little closer in. From here, start to lift up that left leg, flex the foot like crazy and get a real sense of energy into that back leg. Yeah, so it's not hanging here. I flex it and I do my best to lift it. Firm up through your right hip and that right wrist is underneath the shoulder. You're welcome to stay with gaze to the floor. If you feel incredibly stable, you could play with taking the gaze to the side. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Keep smiling even through the wobbles. Deep breath in. We meet together in warrior two. Soften your knee. Take your time to land there. It's a big transition. However you got there, big breath. Inhale. Exhale. Windmill the hands to the floor. Just let that go. Downward facing dog. Take a moment, shake out the head again, pedal out the feet if you feel like you need that extra stretch. And then let's come and feel that little sequence to the other side. Feet together, inhale, the left leg lifts. Step it in between the hands. Spin and flatten onto the sole of your back foot, heel to arch alignment. Windmill the arms, warrior two. Fingers lengthen away. Shoulders relax and soften. Left knee tracking over the second toe. Let's straighten the front leg, hinge forwards and tip, opening out, triangle pose. Back of the neck is nice and long here. So have a play with maybe tucking the chin just a little bit towards the chest. Option, beginners, please stay here and enjoy the stretch. Otherwise, right hand to the waist. Start to soften into your left knee. Start to bring your back foot closer in. Hand to the block, gaze to the floor to play with peeling up the back leg. Again, that reminder, super strong and energized through that right leg. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, option, stay gaze to the floor or start to turn the torso and the shoulder all the way towards the right. Take another inhale and exhale wherever you are. Softly bend the knee, transition, catch it, nearly fell. Warrior two and smile, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's windmill the hands to the floor. You can move that block out of the way and let it go. Downward dog. To walk the hands back to the feet. Well done. Soft, soft, soft. Melt over your legs and then let's slowly roll up. Shoulders back. And take a moment to stand nice and tall. Let the breath escape through the mouth if you need to. And, you know, even after practicing for a short while, you feel that shift, you feel that sense of being alive and moving and stretching. It's incredibly liberating and powerful. Let's softly open the eyes. Come onto the width way of your mat and take your legs quite wide. And then from here, it's ever so slightly, I turn the heels out and the toes slightly angle in. Hands to the waist, pull in through your belly, stick your bottom back, melt, 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 melt into your wide-legged forward fold. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, releasing breath. From here, turn your feet the other way now. So heels in and toes out. Bring your hands just below the knee and just start to take little side lunges. You'll feel that getting right into the inner thigh. And it's really important here that whenever you bend into a knee, that your knee, rather than buckling inwards, is still trying to track towards the middle of the foot. So that's why often we say towards the second or third toe. It's just so it neither rolls in, it neither rolls out. Couple more. To turn towards the front of your mat, step back into plank and gently lower yourself to the floor. Couple of back extensions before we come into our seated poses. Hands underneath the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, lift up cobra. Take an exhale, release to the floor as your legs lift. Again, inhaling, keep the shoulders melting down the back. Exhale, forehead down, legs lift. It's like a seesaw. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. Twice more. We inhale. We exhale. Final one. Inhaling. You should feel the glutes engage. Exhale, particularly as you lift the legs up, to bring the legs down. Push gently into a child pose and rest. Let it go. To come up, make your way onto your seat, and let's start to cool your body down. Extend your right leg out and bring the sole of your left foot to the inner right thigh. Take a deep breath in, lift up. Take a deep breath out, melt forwards and fold. And if you don't quite catch the foot, that's okay. You could have hands behind you and just fold forwards here. Or maybe you just catch the shin or the back of the calf. And lift up. Let's switch change. Take left leg out, deep breath in, deep breath out, melt forwards a little or a lot. To slowly lift up and come to make your way onto your back and hug your knees into the chest. And then bring your left sole of the foot to the floor and extend your right leg up to the sky and interlace either behind the thigh. Maybe slide the hands up the leg and catch something a little further up. Just go with your body. And your right foot is really active here. I'm trying to lengthen my heel up towards the sky. Trying to mount those shoulders back to the floor. Nice long neck. Sometimes I like to put a cushion underneath my head. So you could try that if you wish for something much more comfy. And let's switch change. Second side, left leg extends. Deep breaths in and out. Enjoy the stretch into the back of the hamstring. Two more breaths. To release, hug those knees into the chest. Unless you have high blood pressure, if you do, then you will stay here, holding the outer edges of the feet, or quite simply holding the shins with the knees apart into an inner thigh stretch. If you don't have high blood pressure, you have no neck issues, no shoulder issues, you could come up into a very gentle shoulder stand. And so you just get a bit of a rock of your body to lift up your hips. And we're taking an easier version here, not necessarily easy, but I'm completely onto the shoulders, so I'm not really on the neck. And my legs are at an angle rather than fully stretched up to the sky. So it's more of what I would call a pike position than completely vertical. Legs are almost a 45-degree angle here. It's a nice way of getting a feel for how shoulder stand feels for you. So it is an inversion with head below the heart. So there is a sense of pressure around the upper body, which is why we say not to do this if you already have a high blood pressure. And then bend the knees with as much control as you can. Hands to the floor, slowly roll down. And then let's all meet together, hugging the knees into the chest. And then let's take a nice spinal twist. Hips to the left, knees to the right, arm to the left. Great big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Moving to your other side, center. Hips to right, knees to the left. And right arm extends. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. To come back to center, if you have layers that you wish to put on, jumpers or blankets, now would be the time to do so. And then come to let your body rest against the floor. Any tension that's left in the body, just let it go. And if there's any clenching going on with the muscles, just breathe a sense of release. So muscles are relaxed, bones are sinking heavy into the floor, and eyes are closed. Just take a moment here. Nice, easy breath. Just being aware of the gentle rise and fall of your rib cage. Together, let's take a breath in. Sigh out of the mouth. To reach your arms overhead, point and flex the feet. And then let's gently draw those knees into the chest, little rock from side to side. To slowly roll over to your right hand side and come to push yourself up to any comfortable position. Shoulders roll back, hands are gently resting onto your thighs. Close down the eyes, deep breath in. And out. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Bow the head to yourself for finding this time to practice and connect to yourself and your body and breath. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. Thank you so much, my loves. I hope you enjoyed. As always, please check out Homes for Lambeth's web page for a little bit more information in terms of what they're doing at this time. And that's www.homesforlambeth.co.uk. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for joining me.